blue.
I mean, blue is nice.
Blue dafa rafet.
Ah, sa blue nice na jey.
Suma blue.
No, suñ blue.
Waaye yow sa blue baax na te xam naa ko si jaar.
Bii moom. Madam moo si jaar Penda Ba Balde.
Waaw ñuy wax yëpp ñooñu xamuñ luy xew. Dañoo waxantu ni rek xamuñ luy xew. Anyway, good morning viewers once again. You're watching QTV this morning and it's good to be back. So today we have the African Proverb, we have the newspaper review as usual, and also we have social issues. We'll be taking a look at the construction of the new VVIP lounge at the Banjo International Airport by the OIC ahead of the OIC conference in 2022, and we'll be joined by Fali Fadera, Head of Branding and Communications, OIC Gambia. And also, as usual, every Thursday we have now introduced a new segment which is beauty and fashion, and we'll be joined by our Jame fashion icon and makeup artist. Fashion icon, that's bigger. Anyway, she'll be here to prove to us if she's a fashion icon. You know, that's why she'll be here to give us tips as well in relation to fashion. But fashion icon seems very, very big. But like I said, she'll be here today to give us the evidence that she's won.
Yeah. Yes. You know, the title, sometimes we need to know why.
That is why we'll have her here to prove that.
Exactly.
Yes, so what is our African proverb?
Oh, yeah. A child is what you put into him.
Child is what you put into him.
It is very,
you have a child, so I think
this
is something that you'll be able to explain.
It is very short, but it involves a lot.
Yeah.
You understand? In other words, you can say, train a tree when it is young. You understand? When you take it, when you take it in the direction of a child, it's a matter of disciplining your child, you know, at the right time. Because discipline, you know, it have a time. From that time, if you don't discipline your child on time, the right time, the child will never be disciplined. So therefore, you cannot strengthen the branch of a tree when it is mature.
Okay, so for me, I'm going to take a look at the parents themselves, because it says a child is what you put into him. Let's take a look at the parent. If a parent is not disciplined, you don't expect your child to be disciplined. It's simple logic. So in as much as a parent, you're trying to make sure that you strengthen the child and make sure the child is disciplined, and you're trying to put it. But let me tell you something. What you show as a parent is bigger than what you try to put in the child. If you want to strengthen the child and the child sees that, you do opposite of what you're trying to tell them, I'm afraid it might not work, Ibrahima.
Exactly.
Yes.
I mean, it's a matter of balancing it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's difficult. As a parent, you need to show what we call positive vibes all the time to your children. You should be an example to your children. Because most of these children, they copy what their parents do.
So it's a matter of you trying to tell them, oh, this is the individual that I want you to be, and you're not that individual. For me, it's about serving as an inspiration. Sometimes, you know, I push for certain things, and I tell myself, hey, I'm going to have children someday, and I would want them to look up to me as to what I'm doing. Is it my career? Is it my behavior? Is it my relationship with people? It is very important. The last time I talked about sexual and gender-based violence. You can't tell your child that you can't beat a woman up, and the child sees you beating their mom up. What do you expect? You expect that child, when they get married, they're going to treat women right?
Well,
no.
Well, it will be very difficult.
Yes.
Although at some cases, some children are from very troubled families. But at the end of the time, when the child is growing with maturity, he will realize this is not right.
Yes.
You understand? This has been happening.
But Ms. Samboj, I want to engage you on something. I'm na proverb binga hamne dañ ko de wax dañ ne yalla yare. Sometimes people say that because sometimes you see a child come from a home that is very indecent. And the child ends up becoming, you know, a very important person in society, a very respected person in society. So do you think really that exists, that yala yere that we talk about sometimes?
We need to understand what it means by yala yere.
Wow.
Because in the end, sometimes as you realize, you may be so well-meaning, you try, you do whatever required, but then somehow the child might turn out to be what you had not really envisaged, what you had not really planned on. So it is in that sense, because there are so many variables. The parents, we do not have everything at hand. So our children, in many ways, they're just so vulnerable. I've got a few now. So when you look at your limitations, then you realize that, oh my God, that is why they say it takes a village there is
To
a
raise
saying
a
that it
child.
takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah.
Because any single person can
Yeah,
do that. But this is an interesting bit here. Yes, you put into the child, a child is what you put into it. That is really very, 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 very interesting. And you begin to realize that I cannot teach what I am not. That's
Quite
sort of
simple.
that's really
It's as simple as
what the problem is.
Yeah.
So you realize that we've seen it, parents with their kids, oh, go and study, oh, go and do this. But then in our household, there are no books. You've never read, you don't read. So it's extremely difficult for the child to cultivate that. They are really what they see, hear, smell, the 5 senses.
Touch.
Touch.
Yeah.
So you may say whatever you like.
Whatever, and they're not going to listen. And at the end of the day, that brings about violence. Then parents start being violent towards their children. And then you as a parent have to sit and reflect on your life, on your direction. So I think this just goes to us, the young ones who are yet to have kids. Sometimes I'm afraid, Mr. Mboj, to be honest. Sometimes I look at myself and I am like, I need to work on my parenting from now, because there are certain things that is in me now that I'm not proud of, that I need to change before I have kids, because at the end of the day, they're going to look at me as role models, you know. So it's left to us. Ibrahima, you already have a child, so I guess you're working on that.
I have children.
You're on point. You have children instead. Oh,
Ibrahima is sitting on 4 children.
Congratulations.
Are they sitting on you?
I am sitting on 4 children right now.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of being very responsible as a parent.
Yeah.
You need to take up your own position as a parent to make sure you take your children to the right direction you want them to be. You know, certain things you have to avoid it as a parent, Janaba.
Yeah, you need to. I mean, but anyway, it's quite clear that in as much as anything, parents are just parents at the end of the day. They will always be that parent, but at the end of the day, it comes with a huge responsibility.
And then it also helps if you have a degree of self-awareness. I need to know what I am. I hope I'm not under some illusion and then I try to teach something else, and then perhaps the methods. What are the methods? There are no techniques, no methods really of bringing up children. They are not absolute, they are not perfect, but they're a good guide. They help. So it is important for people to know these bits. For instance, the journey I took was, when my first wife was pregnant, I went looking for books on child psychology.
That's amazing.
You see, I try to incorporate knowledge, what we know of things, into my worldview, into the way I do things. So this is my method of trying to adapt, trying to grow up as a human being. What do the researchers say? What do the thinkers say about these things? And whatever I find I think to be useful, I try to assimilate into myself.
Yeah, but the question is, how many parents will take their time to go and read about when a child is born? You know, how to bring up a child,
especially in the societies we live. You
the
know,
moment you start doing that, they'll be like, "Kida fadof."
But we also have very good families. I mean, that, you know, they have their own formula. When a child is born, you have to follow that formula. This is where your brothers went through. This is where they passed through. This is what you are going to follow. You know, they have their
but the narrative is changing, because let's also agree with the fact that there are harmful practices that are there. It doesn't mean because your brother followed this is what you need to follow.
I'm talking about something that will be positive for this child.
But we have societies whereby they say, because some feel a talk, feel a talk, even sula genalote.
No. Not like, I'm not talking about this in this sense. What I'm saying is discipline, something that will benefit this child tomorrow.
Okay.
Now we have children that, you know, if you want to put them on a certain corner, they'll tell you no.
Yes. Deviate. Well, anyway, this is not the only topic we have today on this morning.
I can see Jenaba don't want to be put in one corner.
Well, the thing is, for me, I just want things to be done the right way, where the child would not be harmed, and the parent will have their respect as well, and feel like I inculcated this into the child. That's what I want to see. Putting aside all these practices that will harm the child.
But
this is also, there's a slight problem there, in the sense that what is the right way? It might seem like a simple question, but different people, the traditionalists, will come and tell you this is the right way. This is how we've been doing it for a long time. And then the modernizers, people like us, will come, you know, being snooty. Oh, according to this child psychologist, it shouldn't be that, it should be that. So what is the right way?
True,
That is where the problem is.
When it comes to the right way, research and new developments, you talked about the fact that you had to take your time to go and research and read about it and stuff. Who does that?
But
How many people do that?
Are other research
I know a few. I know a few, and perhaps the young people listening might also decide to adopt it.
That's why I am saying that us, the young ones who are yet to have children, it's left to us to change.
But other steps, Jenaba, if you take them, I don't think it will be fine for your child.
Come steps like what?
Yeneni bu nekkee comme yow foo nekk di waxee am na yenn yi nga xam ne xale bi dafa war a go through that in our society.
waaye na ànd ak loi na ànd ak right child bi.
waaw xam nga
child bi right am bu ko violate.
xam nga tam too much of right is a problem.
Anyway, topic bi daal foog
no bii xam naa dafa war a yaatu.
waaw dafa war a yaatu boo xam ne social issue la moo nekk ñu ñëw toog fii waxtaanee ko. Anyway, viewers, I don't want us to be too carried away. We will go for a short commercial break, and when we come back, we will head right onto the newspaper review. Don't forget that One Stop Water Solution is part of our partners here for all your tanks, for all your water filters, as well as dispensers. Head right on to One Stop Water Solution right there at Sukuta Highway. We will go for a short break, and when we come back, we will head right onto the newspaper review. Do stay tuned.
To make sure your company's products and services reach your potential customers, it is essential that you choose the right channel for your marketing purposes. QTV has the widest reach locally and beyond, and we can give your business the visibility it needs. Call QTV Marketing on +220 324 4444 or email us at marketing@qtv.gm and take your business to the world.
Welcome back from that short break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning. After a heated debate when it comes to our African proverb, now we head right on to current issues. Our newspaper review, we're joined by our colleague, Momodu Mboche, to help us analyze some of the stories that we have on the paper. I think we have just two today, and that is the Standard.
The Standard and Foroya.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a look at the Standard headline. Prisons DG sent on leave. UDP comfortable but open to alliance Dabo. Fisheries PS Bajan corruption trial starts. And of course, APRC executive deny they could not account for millions given by Jammeh. Keksane arranged after court strikes out case. National Human Rights Commission starts investigation into deaths at boarding school. NAWEC to shut down cash power vending to install new billing software. This is the biggest thing people are talking about now.
Right now it's trending. Moving on Foria, we have presidential election. Esa Mbaifal, inspired by his father's criticism. And Minister Ba hails Dubai for hosting the World Expo. That's the World Tourism Expo. And Salah describes budget session as busiest legislative session. And NAWEC to suspend commercial activities for 2 days. That's all we have.
Oh, well, interesting, yeah. Also,
yes, Mr. Mboche, are you preparing for NAWEC's suspension of activities for 2 days? I hope you're ready for this.
Absolutely. I know, of course, it's going to be inconvenient for a lot of people. But again, then giving the notice means that one should be able to prepare. Hopefully one should be able to prepare for it and buy enough. But this is it. The moving in, the upgrading. We know that this is how it works. I mean, really, development, as they say, sometimes can seem turbulent. Wait until they start constructing the roads. Everybody will be complaining for a while. But this is really what happens. It needs to be done. We'll bear with it. We've been warned. We've been given notice, so that one will prepare.
Well, I think that notice thing, it's the most important, because if there were no notice and they happened to shut down everything, would have been very difficult. But also, according to them, in this paper, they said they're trying to upgrade so that people that are far from the greater Banjul area can also have access to certain services.
Yeah.
But this is what we want, isn't it? You know, the greater penetration, as it were, into the remotest places in this country to have access to all the basic services.
Yeah.
That's really what the drive is.
Yeah. Meanwhile, for all the people watching out there, you can use Q Power to purchase cash power. Very simple. Right now, NAWEC branches will be very busy. No need to go all the way there. Please, we have Q Power.
Well, yeah.
Sit at your
People
home
have even started queuing already.
People have started queuing. It's not worth it. You have Q cell number. You have a Q cell number there. Just use Q money and purchase your Q Power. Very simple.
And if you want to buy more cash power, you can use the Q Money platform.
Yeah.
Just go register and activate your account.
Yeah.
You know, deposit cash from any of the Q Money agents.
Yeah.
And you buy up to $25,000 worth of cash power.
And we've also seen that EcoBank has joined one of the banks that Q Money is using. So anyway, we're not advertising here in a way, but we're just trying to make sure that at least it is convenient for our viewers out there in relation to getting cash power.
But there's even a general point. I can't understand now in this day and age why anybody would want to go and queue.
Yeah.
You see, but this also demonstrates you how much it's so difficult to change old habits.
Well,
it's hard.
I just want people to know this.
Yeah.
I mean, I engage few people. When I saw these people queue at Churchillstown, I said to them, "Why are you queuing? Why not you use Q Power?" They said, "Nabek mode yaga. Q Power mode yaga." It's all the same. My home, I use Q Power all the time. So it's effective, it's convenient, and at the same time, it makes it very easy for you.
That is what I use as well. But just look at this. Imagine people's perceptions. Not based on any facts, but sometimes we just have these perceptions about things, and then we go on perhaps to do stuff that will be so inconvenient for us, things that will burden us, you know, that shouldn't have happened. There's an easier way, but again, certain habits of thought, certain habits of thinking sort of like increase the burden on our lives. It's really quite remarkable how a rational, simple thinking lessens so much in people's lives. That's the virtue of education in many ways.
We're talking about NAWEC. I think it's better for us to at least talk about the water aspect, because I've seen a story on social media. The ones living around Farato, it's like 2 weeks they didn't have water, which is very, very difficult and inconvenient. Imagine living for 2 weeks without water.
Absolutely, and it will be interesting. I'm not sure when you say social media, the source, the particular source is very, very important. Social media is so generic, so general and stuff, and it will be interesting to know what's been going on. Is it that they're upgrading? What's going on? Because we've seen that in various sectors, there seems to be some movement. You know what I mean? We're seeing some sort of improvements in many sectors that you touch. Obviously, yes, a lot of people are still complaining about water, electricity, and all the rest of it. But at least one is seeing some gradual, incremental movements, as it were, to sort these things out. So when we read these things from social media, we should go and try to establish what really the facts are, as it were, not to get too emotional and the like.
Yeah, so moving on, let's talk politics. UDP comfortable but open to alliance, Daba says. So, you know, the concept has been that they're not ready for an alliance. You know, they want to go with just the support that they have right now, that is just UDP, you know, without forming an alliance. But with what we're seeing now, they are comfortable and are ready to go in for an alliance. Last time we talked about the fact that most likely the election will be won by an individual, by an alliance. And then now, fast forward, what is your judgment? Because these are your words, you know, previously. So judging weeks now, what is your judgment? Are you still there?
What do you mean election will be won by an alliance? This is a simple force past the post. This is not a 50+1. It's the old system. Yes? If I win by only one vote, I'm the winner. So these alliances wouldn't be relevant at that point. But of course, before the elections, yes, you're going to have all sorts of alliances. We've already got them. We've seen here APRC and NPP and others forming alliances. And why not? Why should they be close to alliances? Would that make political sense? I don't think so. So I take it that all of these parties would be ready for alliances as such. So it just depends on the agreement and who your allies are.
Well, interesting. Most people were thinking that UDP will not allow any alliance because they believe they are a very big party, so they can do it alone. And do you believe that they can do it alone?
And you see, we use these words. Most people think that, how do you know that? Did you conduct a survey?
It's about engaging people, talking to people.
Okay, so you tell me that anecdotally. With you, anecdotally, the people who you were talking to said that sort of thing. I've never heard it once from the leadership. They might have said it, but I've never heard it from the UDP leadership. And we know that we do know a little bit of politics. At least it's history. So you cannot take away alliances, as it were, from elections. You know, so this is just what it is. So what is said is just a truism, if you like, of politics. People form alliances. Why should anybody be close? I think that would have been the greater news if they had said that, oh, we are close to alliances, we're not going to form any. Then people would have said, man, that's a crazy move.
Yeah, but anyway, elections is around the corner and they're yet to announce any. But anyway, we'll follow developments to see if they're, doing this single-handedly or they need some help.
So behind the scenes, there are all sorts of negotiations going
ongoing
on
that we're not aware of.
They have to nominate the presidential.
And then we will know who the final presidential candidates are.
Yeah.
So moving on, let's take a look at tourism. Minister Bah hails Dubai for hosting the World Expo. Putting that aside, let's focus on Gambia here. The tourism season is about to open very, very soon. And elections is coming. And, most of these presidential candidates are talking about how they can improve tourism. So now, what message, let's say, do you have for all these presidential candidates as to how the tourism sector can be improved?
That's a big question.
Yeah, but just people, I know their ideas. I know you must have ideas as to, because you were here during Jawara's regime. James, now Adama Barrow, you have a picture in your head of probably what you want to see.
Absolutely. But the problem here is Jawara never had a COVID-19. Jammeh never had a COVID-19.
That is why you can do the comparison.
So you see that this is a completely new ball game.
Sure.
Sure. So the longer term impact of this pandemic, we really do not know.
True.
And then I was reading a report the other day. They said possibly the only time that tourism can be revivified, as it were, would be around maybe 2023, 2024. So this is a long-term game. Maybe my worry is that most of the aspects of tourism should be put in private bodies. For me, that's really what my worry is.
So you're saying they should...
I mean, you have so much what tourism contributes, I don't know, 25% to our GDP. And just imagine it, when anything happens outside of this country, you are in problem. When you have an economy that depends on what they call exogenous factors, and that's one of them. It's huge. And then it depends on what happens outside. And then look at it, even the remittances would fall within, depending on what's happening outside. We were lucky here, even with the pandemic, was it last year, 2020, the share of remittances to our GDP was very high. But you know that we are vulnerable to exogenous
okay, so are you saying that there shouldn't be a Gambia Tourism Board under the government of the Gambia?
Well, if it is there, it's going to be merely a facilitative body, just facilitative, try to lobby Parliament perhaps for the right laws, the right regulations. How do we get the right incentives for private sector to invest into this or into that? I want government bodies mainly to be facilitative and providing the regulatory framework, which is key. If I'm going to bring in private bodies, I need to have that solid regulatory framework with integrity. That's really the key word here, so that it can be done well. With all these, we know that for a long time, for some reason, governments, when they spend, they waste. And there's so corruption, we all say it, it's all over the place.
Yes, so moving
Yes.
on, we have on Fourier's editorial, is there a minimum and maximum age to candidature to the presidency? So according to this, they're talking about a person shall be qualified for election as president if a person shall be qualified for election as president if he or she has attained the minimum age of 35 years. And no upper age limit exists after the amendment in 2017.
Absolutely. I remember that in the 1997 Constitution, I think they put, what, 65? That was the upper limit. So immediately when they came in, it wasn't suitable for some of the members of the coalition. So they amended it and changed that. And if I remember, for a very long time, people were calling them all sorts of names. Oh, look at you. What is in your interest? You've gone to change that.
Yeah.
There's so much else you could have amended, but you
Before
didn't do that.
rushing to the
So
age.
that's it. You know, we were all having a go at them for being so selective.
Okay.
In what they were doing.
What do you think about 25, you know? That has
What?
been a debate among young people, adjusting the
Well, age
The
limit.
age
to
limit
20
to 25.
I
yes.
don't like age limits at all. If I can vote, I will stand. That's none of the law's business.
Okay.
The market will deal with that.
So
Either
you're
they will
saying
vote
there
for
should
me.
not be any
I
specific
don't
age
like
limit?
age limits at all. You're selling yourself short. How do you deal with genius? There was somebody in Britain called William Pitt the Younger, became Prime Minister at 24, and you will hear all sorts of things happening. Yes, you may do that, but you will miss genius. Nobody can legislate for genius. Sometimes it comes at any age. So all
You
these
believe in
age limits.
genius?
There is such a thing. At 24, he became. I mean, even Obama, people said he was relatively young. So you do have talent. Talent varies.
It does.
Maybe everybody's got some talent, but not to the same degree.
Sure.
It never works like that.
Okay.
So we have to recognize these things about human beings, about society. This is what it is. Some people are just better at doing things than others.
Okay, maybe they're just putting in that age limit to bring about some sort of control. I don't know what the motive is.
Well, you know how we are. We tend to be so moralistic with certain things. So we feel that maybe when you are 30 or 35, that's when you are mature and the like. I said, yes, generally, that is true. But that very interesting exception, you will miss it.
Yeah,
And
true.
there are always
And you
some
know, there are
interesting
exceptions in
Of
everything.
course,
There are
of
exceptions
course.
in everything, and we might miss
No
out on
age
that.
limits for me. The market will decide. They will decide whether they will vote for me or not. All I need is just 18. I have a right to vote. Then I have a right to stand. The people will decide.
You're not in for
Alright.
age limits.
No way.
I know if the National Youth
Okay.
Council and other
No
youth
way.
bodies are watching right now,
No
they'll be
way.
happy with you. So moving on, we have Fisheries PS corruption trial starts. You know, this is not something very usual in African countries, having permanent secretaries or even government officials face trials when it comes to corruption and just all the investigations that happens in their different ministries.
Yeah, it's not common, but under Jawara, as you like me to compare, we've had a few. Yes, we'll look at this outcome. This was very interesting, wasn't it? The one who was caught on a sort of audio, was it an audio, purportedly receiving bribes
From
was it
Golden Lead Company.
Golden
Yes,
Lead.
I think the story
That's
was
it,
done by
exactly.
Malagan.
Yeah, so he was sent on, wasn't it, administrative leave, I think it was called, and after the investigation. So now the trial has begun. We've seen that with many reports. They were saying that this government appeared to be dragging its feet on tackling corruption. We will realize that the anti-corruption Act law is still not there. It's just a bill.
Yeah.
It's still
And also
languishing,
the
as it
US
were.
State Department says
Yes,
the
that's it.
government
It
has
seems to
turned
be
a blind eye.
languishing in the National Assembly. So we will see where this goes, or whether we'll have many more of them, what will happen. Because report after report, and we know what we are like, there is a lot of corruption going around.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a look at the prison director general sent on leave.
Okay.
Yes, according to the paper, he sent on leave due to certain things that happen at the prison department, which people cannot understand. That is certain few prison breaks.
Absolutely, pending investigation.
Yeah.
That's absolutely it. This is essentially, we are on the same terrain as we are of accountability.
Yeah.
People in public office being accountable. So absolutely, it certainly beggars belief. what is this guy doing? And the buck stops with the head, with the DG. There've been too many. We've had a few reports, even in our news, that of these prison breaks. What is going on? Is this a bit of incompetence, or is it something else? So this is why they're investigating whatever we find out. So we'll try to fix it. If one needs to sack the president's DG, do so. If one needs to ask him to come back to work, fine. But we need to find out what exactly is going on so that you can move on. I was just doing a Thomas Sankara recently, and he said something very, very interesting. If you want to achieve really fundamental change in our kind of societies, you have to have a certain degree of madness. You know what I mean?
A degree of madness.
A certain degree of madness. Because you're dealing with the people where, because of some of our beliefs, we've got this structure of, what do you call it, giving gifts and doing favors to each other.
Sure.
So we move these things into public office. We think that it is okay. So you really need that crazy leader who will come and tell you, actually, no. Actually, no. So in New Gambia, cannot emerge without a new people. If I continue doing things as they used to be done, nothing is going to happen. We know that. That is where I think he meant this notion of a certain degree of madness.
Yeah. Anyway, at least on the newspaper today, we see 2 government officials being held accountable, which is good. And like I mentioned, this is not something quite usual. But anyway, hopefully this is going to be the new trend in the country, whereby public officials will be held accountable for some of the things that they do. So, Ibrahima, I'm afraid I've exhausted Fourier newspaper.
Yes.
And seems we are done with Standard 2.
Exactly.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Momodou Mboj, for joining us on the newspaper review. It's always good to have you here, right? It's always good to have you here.
I'm always glad to be here. You know, when I'm dealing with younger people, you help me adjust my perspective.
Exactly.
It is important to have
I am happy that as a young person, I'm helping you adjust your perspective.
We are all learning. We are all students until we die.
Yeah, and it's good to have you here as an older individual as well, learning from you. Like I said,
we are learning from each other.
Comparison boy.
Alhamdulillah. Getting old is the only known way of staying alive.
Yes.
I'm not complaining at all.
You're not complaining. Thank you so much for joining us on the newspaper review. So moving on, we'll head right on to fashion and beauty, and we'll be joined by our Jame. She's into fashion as well as she's a makeup artist. So she'll be here today to give us tips in relation to how we do our makeup, Ibrahima. Some of these tips, you take it home to madam today, because I know you don't do makeup.
Definitely.
So you sit back and relax and watch us ladies discuss brows and eyeshadows and all of that. So we will go for a short break, and when we come back, we'll be joined by our Jame.
Fastest and easiest way to receive money transfers from abroad? Well, Q Money and Ria just made it happen. Now you can receive international money transfer from Ria directly into your Q Money account with no additional cost. Once you receive an SMS alert about your transfer, walk into any Q Money agent across the country to receive your payment for free, or use the money immediately to buy credit, Q Power, and other Q Money services. It's fast, safe, and convenient. For more info, call customer care on 133. Q Money, Sunu Calpe. Terms and conditions apply.
Q Money, the biggest mobile money service in the Gambia, has taken mobile banking to the next level. Now, you can link your Q Money wallet with your bank account. Yes, link your Ajib or EcoBank accounts with your Q Money wallet and get instant access to your cash anytime. No need to queue at the bank anymore. Transfer funds from your bank account to your wallet or your wallet to your bank account using Q Money Bank Link is the fastest, most secure, and convenient way to transfer funds between your wallet and bank account. For more information, call our customer care on 133. Q Money, Sunu Calpe. Terms and conditions apply.
With so many things to do in a single day, it's important to have a network you can trust. When there's family and friends to connect with and business calls to make, you need a network that is reliable and fast. Talk longer, browse faster, go farther, and roam wider. When your network is solid, the world is your oyster. QCell, your trusted network in the Gambia.
Check out the all-new Tigo 8 at S-Pass Motors. Call 3522-222 or 353-2222 for more information.
Sherry. Light. From the beginning of time, light has been there.
It is integral to our survival and to our way of living.
We need light to work,
To build,
to grow things, and even to see our loved ones.
light makes things easier and better.
So QCell has changed the way you buy Q-Power to make it easier and more accessible.
You can now access the same service quickly and get your cash power tokens instantly with the new QCell Q-Power code.
To light up your world, simply dial *363#.
With a touch of your fingers,
With ease and convenience from the comfort of your home or office,
you can bring light into your world instantly with *363#.
Q-Power, lighting your world.
QCell Sunyabus.
We innovate, others follow.
Your favorite mobile service has done it again. Now you can buy cash power with your Q-Money account free of charge. Yes, you heard me right. For free. Nothing is cheaper than free. So start buying your cash power from the comfort of your homes with unbeatable services Q-Money has to offer. With Q-Money, life is easy. Visit your nearest Q-Money agent to cash in or call customer care on 133 for more information. Don't forget to wash your hands with soap after handling cash. Stay home, stay clean, stay safe. Q-Money, Sunyu Kalpe. We innovate, others follow.
Novelas ni ma gunge ci sama kër gi ba xet gi neex duma toog duma tàyyi man daal de moo koy wëri parfum Novelas suñ ko bis ki kër gi xet gi day neex parfum Novelas mooy waaja lii mooy parfum Novelas parfum bi dafa neex forest bi dafa neex saxra bari dafa neex lii mooy parfum Novelas parfum bi dafa neex almadina boo ko bombee xet gi day gunguni lii mooy parfum Novelas baxuur bi dafa neex brise marine bi ak yëpp a neex ak Novelas féppay xeeñ neex.
Looking for the fastest and easiest way to receive money transfers from abroad? Well, Q-Money and RIA just made it happen. Now you can receive international money transfer from RIA directly into your Q-Money account with no additional cost. Once you receive an SMS alert about your transfer, walk into any Q-Money agent across the country to receive your payment for free or use the money immediately to buy credit, Q-Power and other Q-Money services. It's fast, safe and convenient. For more info, call customer care on 133. Q-Money, Sunyu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back from that short break. If you're just tuning in, this is QTV This Morning, and I am your host, Jennifer Sonko, joined by my amazing co-host.
Yeah, we're about to go on fashion and
beauty.
And beauty.
Wow, so we're going to fashion
Today
and beauty.
I'm going to learn a lot.
We are all going to learn.
Yes.
So we are joined by our Jame. Thank you so much for joining us. You know, you do very, very good makeup. And today, I think our focus should be on that. Because, you know, there are a lot of misconceptions when it comes to makeup. I know before we started, he said spare parts. That is what he... Really?
Yeah, normally, human spare parts.
So, yo, man like now. Yo, Buga nga jigen bu dee makeup wala buguloo ko?
No, I like it. I love makeup.
You love makeup?
In fact, I love makeup. Not only like,
but you love makeup.
I love it.
Okay. Awa, how does makeup boost your confidence? Because it has to do with confidence in a way, you know.
You know, it's something that boosts your confidence. It helps you express yourself through artistry, basically. So in most cases, you realize when someone is more like a melancholic person, and the moment you have her makeup done, she's all over the place. Now, this helps them express themselves. It makes them happy. So it's important. But it depends on the type of makeup. I mean, each makeup a person does explains her character. Okay. Explains who the person is. So for those people who always like more of subtle nude makeup, are the melancholic people. Yeah. And ones that go for fun and more like a loud makeup are the loud people, are the happy people. So it's important, we know it's important for women to kind of touch up their faces and highlight their cheekbones and stuff like that. So it's important.
And you know, I love
it's beautiful.
I
it's
love
beautiful.
highlighting my cheekbones.
You know.
Look at me. I'm lost. I don't even know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk. Let me do
okay.
this. Let me pretend as if I know makeup
I'm
now.
out.
Let's talk about this. I mean, do you have makeup for different people, different colors?
Yes, we do. We have different type of makeup for different type of skin, for different type of events, you know.
Oh, really?
There are
Even
certain,
events?
yes, of course. There are some events, you have a loud makeup, there's an event, you have a soft makeup, there is an everyday makeup too. So you need to know when to wear which makeup and at what time you have to wear them. Yeah. So this is very necessary. So in most cases, men don't like makeup because women wear the wrong makeup for the wrong purpose or for the wrong event or time, you know. So for soft makeup, everyday makeup, I think everybody loves that.
I've seen it.
It's much more natural, you know. Okay. So if the lighter the makeup, the better.
Okay. So what does it take to be a makeup artist? Because right now, sa Gambia bi fi man dama gis ne makeup artist yi dañ bari. You know, dafa bari ku nekk mu ngi ubbi place am, the makeup, the def brows, the def eyeshadow, and all of these things. Sometimes you see certain makeup, you know, this is not, I'm not an expert, but I can differentiate between a good one and a bad one. So really, what does it take to be a good makeup artist?
I'll likely say it takes patience, because with patience you learn more about what you're doing, and it's important to understand what you're doing, you know. In whatever you do, you need to know what you're doing. You need to understand better what you're doing, because you're dealing with a different type of people, different type of women, different system, different style, different norms, different faces. So it takes patience, it takes hard work, it takes learning the process and getting to understand how best to make people happy. Okay. You know, so confidence matters a lot, and investment, you know. A lot of us lack that. Okay. We want to make a lot of money, but we don't want to further invest into this business. So you need to get good products that will help people's skin. You know, the bad ones, you know, the way food expires is exactly the way makeup items expire too. So having to know all of these will help you a lot, you know, understanding what you're doing.
So did you go to school for this? Did you go to school for makeup?
I never did. I am a self-taught makeup artist, but the internet taught me a lot. Okay. You know, I do here and there online lessons, and I realize it impacts a lot. Yeah. You know, that helps a lot.
All right, and now you're training the younger ones.
Yes,
congratulations.
I am doing that. Thank you.
Okay,
so
so
much.
how is that working? What is their impression? How are they responding to the trainings that you're providing for them?
Honestly, I think it's highly demanding. So a lot of youngsters right now, you know, makeup is something nobody can avoid at this point. It's so much trending. So everybody wants to look good. Everybody wants to look beautiful. Everybody wants to be out there flawlessly beautiful. So everybody's coming. Almost everybody's coming, and they're really happy that I'm here, that they have me.
Look at that! Look at the blue eyeshadow. There. That looks
That's
pretty.
So beautiful.
Yeah,
it was one of the tutorials I was showing to the girls.
Okay.
Now
that was the transformation,
of the
place
school.
Okay, can you take us through the different makeups, the different times, the morning makeup, the evening makeups. What makeup should my wife put on?
Maybe we should have brought a model.
A model?
A model maybe,
Yeah.
to do a demonstration, because kida fa many lola.
You know, you want to know, right? Okay, so what's going to happen is you're going to take my lessons.
Yeah.
So you can at least do your, or you can do your woman's makeup.
Oh,
we
about
have
that?
Men doing
Yeah,
makeup,
I've seen a lot of that.
Yeah.
I've seen husbands calling me, telling me, you know what, I want my wife to register for your lesson, so she's not spending hours at a salon getting ready, you know.
Yeah.
So your wife comes in or you come in. I'll show you all you need to know.
Your wife comes in.
No,
so now, we know you've been into pageantry, you know, modeling, but suddenly you so I just want to know what the problem is. Do you feel like it's not profitable anymore? That is why you decided to put it aside for now and just concentrate on the makeup? Or you just decided at some point that this is not something that you want to do? Because
yeah, so Mama Africa's makeover has been existing for a while, you know. So even though I was into fashion, I was still doing what I am doing right now. So, but then with time, I realized, you know what? Sometimes dine da fanyo rek songala.
Okay.
I don't know if you get that.
I get that.
So it's something that I love. I love modeling. I love the runway.
Yeah.
I so much love the attention and all of that. But I just talk, like realize, you know what? I think I want to get close to my Lord.
Okay.
So, but then I have something aside that I can focus on.
Yeah.
And I can use this to express how I feel, you know. So I've been into the fashion industry for a very long time. That's me in the Fashion Week in Gambia.
Yeah.
I've represented Gambia in different countries.
Yeah.
I have, of course, won Miss July 22nd in 2014.
Yeah.
And a lot more. I think I've won altogether 7 different crowns.
Yeah.
And that makes me feel so good. And I've worked with Gambia's finest designer, Newell, by then.
Yeah.
Newell, NSC, and it was a great moment.
Yeah.
I love working with different people that are highly, you know, recommended in fashion. So, yeah. So aside
of that, we do have models, models as well. Is that something that you're planning to take a look at as well?
Not really.
Not really.
No.
So our is now mainly a makeup artist, not the model.
I am mainly a beautician that is trying to groom girls, that is trying to bring up girls for the future. You know, I want to have the Gambia being one of the best country with the finest beauticians. You know, that's my plan.
All right, moving on. Let's take a look at your choice of fashion, your choice of wear. You know, sometimes I see you wear very nice African dresses. You know, very calm, very nice. So, are you an Ankara person?
I am more of an Ankara person because I love, you know, the name Mama Africa explains almost everything. So I love more of an Ankara style and it explains a lot about how I love being an African type of person and not too modern.
Not too modern in a way.
Yeah.
Anyway, we respect the fact that, you know, you decided to change and take another direction.
I mean, don't get it wrong. I am so much in love with what I was doing. I am still in love with it, but I have to put it aside for something that is much more important.
Okay.
Yeah, but the fashion industry pushed me so, you know, far. So I'm really glad I took part in
So this has nothing to do with the fact
fashion.
that the pay is not good, it's not paying the bills and all of
I mean,
that?
it was the love, it's not the money. It was love. It was love. I mean, we were not doing this to be well paid. I mean, for the July 22nd Queen winning, I mean, I got to have a lot of opportunities to meet dignitaries, to get a lot of good money and scholarship. So it was good. But having to become a runway fashion model, I was not expecting a lot because we are just getting started. I mean, maybe the future models will get better pay, but I mean, it was just love.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
it was
so
just
how
that.
do you think the fashion industry in the Gambia can be developed to an extent that it can pay the bills? I know, individuals who are models outside of the country and it's working for them. It's paying the bills. But in Gambia here, I talk to models. They're like, oh, we're not there yet. So what do you think can be put in place to change that?
It's the mindset, We have to change the mindset we have towards fashion and pageantry. Because most people think if you're a model, you are no serious person.
Okay.
If you're a model, you are just being out there for guys.
Yeah.
And which is very wrong. This helps one to explain how she feels and express herself, body language and what she wears, and sell, of course, market the outfits they're wearing. So it's a lot of opportunities. You get to travel, you get to meet people that you learn from, you get to, of course, have some money that will take care of yourself and pay bills. But there is only one fashion show, the biggest fashion show in the Gambia. It's just one. It's not two, it's not three, it's not four, it's not five. So you realize that is Fashion Week and they're doing
and
perfect.
that comes every December.
Every year. So it's an annual event that is not too favorable. I remember we have to wait for this moment to come to participate, to feel happy and to be together. So we need more of this. We need people to come out and believe that fashion can take the country further. It's not what they think. It's not, look at how happy we were. A lot of us quitting now because we feel, Fashion Weekend should not be the only event we be waiting for to rock the runway. We need more of that. Gambia needs more of that. If we want to really take it forward, we really need more of that so models can come out, so we can discover a lot more models that are inside.
I know at the level of QTV we're trying, because at least we have the Korite, was it?
Fashion,
exactly.
Yeah,
we brought about the Tobaski style where we give opportunity to models.
And fundraising events that will have models on the runway is important. One of the photos I was modeling for the former president's wife, Madam Zainab. These are events that are very beautiful because at least people get to come out and to donate or to participate in one way or the other. So we need events like this. We need international events like that, So I'm hoping in the near future we have more events coming up.
Yeah, hopefully. But like I said, at our own level, we have this Tobaski style where we allow models to also participate and they get paid. And, at least we're using that. And you never know who's watching live on TV and could just pick somebody from there. So also we're trying in our own little way to make sure. But thank you so much, Awa, for the work that you do. And the fact that when you started doing makeup, it's not just limited to you, but you ended up expanding it and accommodate all of these young ones. Because makeup is a thing in Gambia now.
It is. So I'm really glad you guys have me here. And I'm really excited.
What makeup should I put on as a man?
As a man, you need a soft
on several occasions, they forced me to go in there and do my makeup. But
you just need to be touched. You just need your brush, and then if you have
I don't need the foundation?
You might not need it. It depends on your skin. If you have
I don't
acne,
even know what foundation is.
Foundation is more like a liquid that covers up all the pores and then all the acne. So you might need that if you have flaws on your face, basically. But if you don't have it, you might just need...
Is my face smooth?
It is smooth.
Yeah, but Awa,
I think it is smooth.
Dama dey gis nit makeup bad bi xonxa kanam bi green.
I don't like that one.
And I'm so happy we're not normalizing that because I was thinking at some point then you normalize bad bi ak kanam bi duñ nekk ben. It's nothing professional. So this is why I'm bringing up girls. This is why I'm preparing girls for the future. At the end of the day, we have beauticians they understand the assignment. So bad bi ak the first thing you do balanga match skin bi, you match the neck. Foundation under with the neck is what you apply onto this face. Because sometimes danga gis nit ki kanamam bi hess bad bi ñuul. So mistakes in there def moy dañ dé jël kanam bi kolam instead of bad bi kolam. Nit ki kanamam bi bu ñuulé sax bad bi hess, bad bi kolam nga def ci kanam bi. So dé tam batam bi mo ñuul kanam bi hess, ñuulay bi ngay def ci kanam.
Why bad sax dang ko wara makeup?
But if you're doing it the right way, no. If you're doing it the right way, if you're matching it, then it's exactly the tone you're using.
So jarut nga def si bad bi dara.
If you're doing it the right way, But we buy lal sax dang ko just dust out. Dang just dust out the powder, the translucent powder or the loose powder onto it. So you don't need too much of lolu ci sa bad. Because remember, feed of the connected to yerebi, wala daf de muna gawa ñaxa. So you don't need to.
So ma bëgg xam tam da makeup artist yi ndax nekk ngeen benn. Ndax am ngeen a platform bi nga xam ne xëj na yow tey sa nga call trend ne ko man dama am extra clients mun naa la ko seen ndax yéen am ngeen relationship boobu noonu.
Masha Allah, alhamdulillah. Am nañ loolu.
Okay.
Almost ñun makeup artists yi yëpp we're together.
That's good.
Am nañ each other's number, am nañ group bi nga xamante ne foofu leen di gather. Ñu def suñ prizes together, and we are even planning on to meeting. Ñu mën a xool how best we can evolve each other's business. You know, so and ñu déggoo benn prize nga gis kii du am 200 makeup prize, kii du am 1,005 makeup prize. So we buy from each other as well.
Why makeup dafa share?
Dafa share.
Lan moo tax?
Dafa share because ñu ngi evolve. Aduna baa ngi dem si kanam. You have qualities of makeup products yi nga xamante ne the moment you have them on your face, you are a different person. You know, dafa cover all the flaws you have on your face.
Products and they use most of the time, do they make original? But second, they make lola dika.
No, wandanguma lolo. Ñun dañoo order suñu bagage stock. This is why makeup musier. This is why price bi sax musier. Because then we can make sure yaaxuñ kanam ken, pimples suñ kanam ken. We want to make sure everybody looks beautiful.
And makeup artists Gambia send brushes itam dañ dey til.
You know, this is one thing I always teach my students. Whatever you're using onto a client's face has to be clean. Because beauty comes with hygiene. There is no, I mean, it works both ways. So don't wanna jël bi nga bay bi ci ginaaw.
Okay.
You have to be as hygienic as possible. Foog nga raxas sa brosse. Foog nga am sa wipes. I personally cannot do without wipes.
Okay.
I need wipes for a lot of reasons. You know, dama fompa fii, dama fompa sa kanam bi fii, dama boo jógee sangu sax léegi ñëw toog pour ma defara dama fompa sa kanam bi. Because I want that SPF to be on your face, or I want the alcohol to wipe out all the bacteria ci sa kanam bi.
Okay.
So it's a lot of things I teach these girls.
Okay.
So I'm hoping with time, then I'm better beauticians in the country.
Let's talk about mixing the stuff. Dafa am tam benn mixing boo leen dee def to produce a particular color or what?
Are you talking about the transitioning colors?
Well,
I don't know.
I think
is it the skin or the eyes?
No, the skin.
The skin is the highlighting and the contour, no? You're
because,
talking about the...
dama xam ne makeup... makeup is more of...
Listen, this guy needs to Okay.
Dafa mel ni man so in the makeup. Dafa dey mel ni like a painter man.
You know, it is. Lolula, it's art, it's artistry.
So painter, nag dafa need colors to mix colors.
You blend in shades. Tey jii yow boo toogee ma am color bu gën a xees tuuti ma am bu ñuul kuk lan nga foog laa war a def? Bu xees bi of course dafa weex torop pour sa kanam. Waaye bu ñuul bi tam dafa ñuul kuk sa kanam.
Waaw léegi looy def da nga mix ñaari.
Of course, ma get a shade. More of the light one or more of the dark one. Ma blend leen ma mun a am sa shade.
Waaye awa dañ fi dee gis nit tam jël foundation yoo xam ne nekkul the same brand ñu mix ko na loolu óor la.
It's fine. In as much as guy they are original. The mistake people do is then they just fake ak original ñu jaxase.
Oh.
You know, I say no to that because before my defaral client something, I want to make sure I have it on my face first to know if it works, because I have more of a combination skin. So my skin can take today my skin mun na gel something, then a lot of ñun mun nañ ko gel. So I have them on me first before trying it on clients to be on the safe side. You know.
Man balde mom dama bëgg.
No.
Man fi mu nekk nii man uyu man. Dafa jeex.
Balde, go ahead. Ask any question you wish
anyway,
to.
Ibrahim, it was even good that you asked that because, you know, this came to my mind, the issue of blending foundations. But this has been very, very interactive. Thank you so much for coming. I really enjoyed this. Hoping to have another session with you. Just some makeup lessons.
You should. I mean, Gambia jigéen yi ñëpp laa bëgg ñu ñëw. Nekkul ne danga ko def pour am xaalis. If this is not what you want, pour nga def ko pour am xaalis, you can do this to have your makeup for your husband.
Yeah.
You can do this for Zoom meetings.
Yeah.
You can do this even bu ñëwee man dam dee soona di gis rang bi. May defar ay nit dam dee soona. So you know, if I cannot do your makeup almost all the time, I want you to know how to do it.
At least.
You know.
Man mun na highlight ma def
makeup sa boppa this morning.
Makeup ma boppa.
But it's beautiful because it's natural.
Yes. Why problem bi moy man brows bi la mënut a def.
It's
not. Chat bi daf day dinga.
The moment I teach you the 5 steps,
yeah,
believe it.
dina work.
Any person. It doesn't matter who you are. So they don't feel like you're a slow learner.
Yeah.
So in your way, the moment I teach you this, within 2 days, girl, dangamun.
Dangamun.
Yes.
Man lila gum. Waaye Ibrahima Balde daal bu mu fi laajte waa dara.
Nam laajte
Anyway, thank you so much for coming out.
I am so happy you guys have
very,
me
very
here.
interactive.
Thank you guys so much.
Yes. Amin ya, Amin. You know accused nak.
Okay.
Well, anyway, we will go for a short break. Thank you so much, our Jame, for joining us. And when we come back, we will find out what's next. Do stay tuned.
Money, the biggest mobile money service in the Gambia, has taken mobile banking to the next level. Now, you can link your Q Money wallet with your bank account. Yes, link your Ajib or EcoBank accounts with your Q Money wallet and get instant access to your cash anytime. No need to queue at the bank anymore. Transfer funds from your bank account to your wallet or your wallet to your bank account using Q Money Bank Link is the fastest, most secure, and convenient way to transfer funds between your wallet and bank account. For more information, call our customer care on 133. Q Money, Sunyu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
The best product in town is back. QCell's MiFi router. Get the best MiFi in the country for just $2,800 and connect up to 15 users with 4G internet speeds and a long-lasting battery life. So rush now to any of our customer care locations and get the best for less while stocks last. For more info, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Senior Boss, the Gambia's quality network. We innovate, others follow.
With so many things to do in a single day, it's important to have a network you can trust. When there's family and friends to connect with, and business calls to make, you need a network that is reliable and fast. Talk longer, browse faster, go farther, and roam wider. When your network is solid, the world is your oyster. QCell, your trusted network in the Gambia.
Back, viewers, from that short commercial break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning. That was our jam and makeup artist. Thank you so much for joining us. And I said Ibrahim, I shouldn't ask any questions, but I'm afraid the questions you asked were very good.
I want to know.
You want to know, right?
So it's important I ask those questions.
Yes.
Even our guest here.
Yeah. So speaking of our guest, he's the head of communications and branding at OIC Gambia. And today we'll be talking about the construction of the new lounge at the Banjo International Airport. It's the VVIP lounge at the Banjo International Airport. Finally, I'll use that, finally. You know, this is something that a lot of people have been anticipating for so long. Right. And I saw pictures of the fact that already work has started. How are you able to start very, very quick?
Thank you very much, Jay and Mr. Balde. I'm glad to be on the show. I must add that you guys are doing amazingly well.
Oh, thank you.
Beautiful combination.
Thank you.
Just like you said, the construction of the VVIP, ultra-modern VVIP and Presidency Lounge at the Banjo International Airport has indeed commenced. And to our much delight, within 72 hours, of the award of contract ceremony that took place at the Sadala Kairaba Jawara International Conference Center on Thursday. So I think, to answer your question, the reason why we are able to move with such a speed, as opposed to other contracts or projects that we have, is that the contractor, which is RSK, is already at the airport. They just concluded the renovation of the main terminal at the Banjo International Airport. So given the speed and the satisfaction and the amazing work that they have done, the Gambia Civil Aviation Authority, our implementing partners, and the government thought it wise to just give them the contract to do the Presidential Lounge. And, you know, and we are really happy that things are now moving into the implementation stage, definitely.
Okay, Mr. Fadera, let's talk about the timing.
Yes.
Do you think we'll be able to make it on time?
Yeah, for the summit, yeah, hopefully we are hoping that by the time the summit gets here, the construction will have been completed.
Okay. Are we hoping or we believe? Which is
we are hoping because we are still not sure as to exactly when the summit will take place next year.
Okay.
But we are projecting that it will take place around the end of the year, somewhere around that time. And the projected time period for the construction of this presidential lounge is about 12 months. And, you know, the contractors and the client, which is GCC representing the government, when we went there with the press the other day, they represented their desire to do it within even earlier, way before the stipulated time period, the duration. So we are hoping that because they understand the urgency of the moment as much as we do, that we have something important, and it will be important to have the presidential lounge ready before that. So everybody is committed, working in that direction to make sure the presidential lounge is completed 100% before time. But even if it's not 100% completed, I'm sure it would just be the finishing touches. Yes.
So one of the criticisms has been quality.
Yes.
Yeah, the fact that you know, you're trying to fast track something to make sure that it's done quickly. You know, is quality something that you're really engaging the constructors on? Because if we have this just for the summit, we want to use this afterwards.
Yes.
But are the advantages of having such a summit or hosting such a summit? So is that something that you're stressing with the constructors?
Yes, absolutely. Quality is not going to be compromised 100%. As a client, I mean, the country and the government, we have supervisors, people that we hired, well-skilled companies and organizations to inspect the construction work. And, you know, our word to them is very clear, that we are not going to compromise quality as far as this work and every other work that is being done in the name of the OIC is concerned. Because fundamentally, we are aware that even though these things are being done solely for the summit, but they will be here to benefit the country long after the summit is gone. The duration of the summit will not be more than 5 days or 1 week maximum. So we want them to be here to serve us in the long run so that the country can leverage on it and improve our infrastructure so that we can leverage on it and position the Gambia as a conference destination so that we can use it also to make sure that we offer something different in terms of travel and tourism as far as our country is concerned. So I can guarantee you quality will be upheld throughout the process.
Yeah,
what are some of the facilities that we'll be having in the presidential VVIP lounge?
Yes, the presidential lounge is state of the art, I must say. Part of the facilities there would be presidential lounges. We would have multiple presidential lounges to accommodate multiple arrivals, multiple or more arrivals at the same time. Because when the summit is upon us, the arrival of guests would be in fast succession. So that being the case, you need the president to be somewhere else with another person, maybe the vice president or another state representative to be able to receive other guests. So we'll have several presidential lounges. We'll have press rooms there, press conferences. We'll also have protocol offices. And the equipment is state of the art, as you can see in the 3D design that is being shown. It's really out of this world in the sense that it will offer something unique, something that is in line with modern technology. Yes.
So moving on, let's take a look at sustainability of all of these structures. I want to know, after the OIC summit, is this secretariat going to be maintained to make sure that these facilities that are put in place are maintained and looked after? Because already people are like, oh, the Sadauda Karabakh Conference Center is here. I just hope before the summit, you know, it will not look somehow, you know, because sustainability, we have to agree, is a problem in the Gambia. So what mechanisms are put in place when it comes to that?
Yeah, that's a good question. After the main summit, the secretariat will be in existence for 3 years because the Gambia will be assuming the chairmanship of the OIC. But more importantly also, what you're talking about is something that we think about and discuss during our planning meetings at the level of the secretariat with our local organizing committee and even the government. So there are mechanisms or there are hopes to hire private management firms to be in charge of these facilities. But the beautiful thing is we are working with government agencies that will be here to take care of these facilities. For example, the presidential lounge The Gambia Civil Aviation Authority is the one running it. They're the one in charge. If you look at the roads, it's the National Road Authority. You look at all other things that we do, there are government agencies which are permanent in nature that will be responsible for them. So our role is to coordinate, get the resources, build this infrastructures, and then have them managed and managed on their own. But I can guarantee you, where we deem that the best interest is to hire private management firms to run it, obviously that's what we will do, because at the end of the day, we want these facilities to be here to serve us for long. We don't want them to start falling off and, you know, get dilapidated within a short period of time. Even for the Sarada Conference Center, I'm aware there are efforts underway to get a private management firm in the long run to run it as an enterprise on behalf of the government in a way that, you know, will be making money out of it, but also maintaining the facility, the quality, the service, and things like that.
I know if Mamadou Mbodj is watching, he'll be happy. He likes privatization.
Definitely. Mr. Fadera, currently, do you have any challenges when it comes to the job that is going on at the moment at the airport?
In terms of challenges, well, I would say, well, the challenge we faced was to get to this point, in the sense that COVID-19 was a major disruptor for us. It delayed our plans significantly. For example, we should have started this project much earlier, but we could not because COVID came. When COVID came, everywhere else around the world came to a standstill, including the Gambia. There was a long period of time when nobody was going to work. And the way that we work with our projects is that we seek approval from our donor partners in everything we do. So that being the case, it was really a major challenge. But we thank God now that things are picking up and picking up fast. As you can see, like I highlighted, the contract was signed on a Thursday, last Thursday, and by Friday, Saturday morning, the demolition has started. The place is clear now, and they will now move on to the next stage, which is to dig the foundation and do the necessary
The contract, is it only awarded to one firm responsible, or do you have a lot of them that join together to do this job?
Before you answer that, to add on to his question, how transparent as well was the bidding process? You can also talk about that for transparency purposes.
Okay, to answer your question, we have one contract. In this case, is RSK. RSK is a familiar name in the country. They've done multiple capital projects, including roads, and like I also said, they did the airport. So in terms of the selection, we are cognizant of time, but even though we are cognizant of time, we also attempted to follow due process and the best practice as much as we can. There is something in procurement called user satisfaction. If a contractor does work for you and you are satisfied with what they have done, you can easily rely on that to give them another contract. And in this case, because of time consideration, we decided to go with RSK because they have done an amazing work. They are familiar with the airport already. They know the terrain. They have a flawless relationship with the people at the airport, the authorities there. So we thought, because they've also expressed interest, and we've thought that we could give it to them to do the job. And but more importantly, for quality assurance purposes also, we have special requirements. And when they express interest and shown that they can do it, they have done it in the past, we said, why not give it to them to fast-track the job? Yes.
Okay, exactly. So which means at that point in time, when it comes to the VVIP lounge, an open bidding was not conducted.
No, in that case, it was not. It was not. We just single sourced it.
It was given to them based on
the work that
previous work that they did. The performance was really satisfying, and because of time consideration, because we need to also understand that as far as we are concerned, this presidential lounge is coming solely because of the summit. Even though it will have other ripple effects on the economy, on our development as a country. But that being the case, we are mindful of the time. If we want to subject it to open tender competitive bidding, it will take long. For example, for tender competitive bidding, the time period, the grace period from when you request an RFP, that is request for proposal from contractors, until you can open it, the minimum period is 1 month. So the selection also, the evaluation, everything minimum, it could take up to 3-4 months. And we don't have the luxury of time. And this is a company that has demonstrated ability and they have demonstrated capability that they can do it. They have done it in the past and they did a similar work at the airport.
Okay.
So
as
because
long as
of that,
it's in line with procurement rules,
absolutely,
we are okay with that.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It certainly is. I can guarantee you that everything we do is guided by an intergovernmental committee comprising representatives from the Civil Aviation, the Gambia Public Procurement Authority, the Ministry of Finance, and all other stakeholders involved.
Okay, so take us through, I know you're here to talk about the lounge at the international airport, but we'll also use this opportunity to engage you when it comes to the road construction as well.
Of course,
already, you know, Gambians are panicking. Oh, when this starts, traffic jams and all of that. So what are some of the measures you're putting in place to make sure that we'll have good diversions and, you know, the economy will flow as usual?
Yeah. That's a good question, but before I go there, just to give the viewers a little bit of background. As you rightly pointed out, we have two portfolios of road projects. One is the expansion of the Battle Harding Highway into a dual carriage from the airport to the Sting Corner. And then we have, the fact there is a new development to the Battle Harding, something exciting, but it will come very soon.
But this is this morning. You can announce this here. Come on, this is this morning. You know.
No, but
you know, we have big announcements here.
I know. But you know, I will give the honor to the president to do that. I know it will really, really excite the public.
Okay, then.
But it is all in the name of, you know, doing what's best for this country. Pretty much, it's in line with that. But like I said, the other component to our road project is the 50-kilometer OIC urban road, which is part of that project will construct about 20 roads in the urban area in very strategic places. So as you said, all the projects, our road projects are moving in the right direction, moving from the procurement now into the implementation stage. And when the road works come, of course, we are going to have diversions. We are working with that at the level of our team. The contractors are aware of the need to do that. So they will identify roads that motorists can use, and they will make sure it is usable for the motorists and commuters. They will use their graders to make sure there are, you know, exits and diversions that people can use when the work starts. Because obviously the work would come with a lot of inconvenience and disruption to normal life.
Mr. Fadera, when it comes to roads, I mean, quality, it's very important. We've seen roads that are constructed here many years ago, and today you can't use them. So I hope you've put that into consideration.
Yeah, very well, very well. Like I said, you know, quality is something that we emphasize in everything we do. You know, the minimum lifespan that we required is 20 years for all the roads that are going to be constructed as part of our project. That for the next 20 years, there shouldn't be any major repairs work on these roads. So that is something that we are really mindful of, and we are putting our contractors to task. And the good thing about our roads, all the roads that will be constructed under the OIC, they will come with street lights, they will come with drainage systems, and they will also have pedestrian footpath.
So far, finally, before you leave us, take us through some of the benefits that the OIC has brought, you know, ahead of the summit itself. You know, we know of the lounge, we know of the road constructions. So what other benefits does the OIC summit come with?
Number one, I think it is the perfect opportunity to put the Gambia on the world map, because we'll be playing host to 57 heads of state and government from around the world, major powers around the world. So if you have all of them or their representatives in the country, I think that is the biggest PR ever in the history of this country. Number two, the infrastructure developments that come with it. I can tell you safely here that this is the biggest development and infrastructure enterprise in the history of the Gambia. More than $250 million is being injected in improving our infrastructure, from roads to water and electricity, from the airport, security, our tourism and hospitality. I think the benefit in that area is immense when it comes to
this is bigger than the AU summit we hosted.
Absolutely, absolutely. With all due respect to the AU summit, they are definitely not on the same scale. The good thing is we have other African countries as part of the OIC, and we have also others from outside. So the other component also, the benefit, is the job creation aspect. You know, during the construction of these projects, we'll be creating a lot of jobs. And we would also be creating jobs when these facilities are done, because they will need manpower to run and function effectively. So, and obviously, the Gambians will be the first point of call and reference when it comes to these jobs. And then if you look at the aggregate sum of all these projects, they will contribute to improving our infrastructure and changing the trajectory of development in this country. For example, the roads are very key for commerce and business. They ensure smooth and easy movement of people. They will change the urban outlook of the country. And they will also make sure that traffic is decongested. People can move about freely. So I think the ripple effect is not quantifiable.
Okay.
Really,
I also saw trainings of police officers.
Exactly.
I don't know if journalists will be trained, Ibrahim. We need to be trained.
Well,
we need to report well on the OIC.
It's very important.
No, it's very important. Yes, now that you mentioned it, we have plans like that.
Okay.
As you said, we are also working with our security partners. We help them with security equipment and apparatus in the past, more than 40-foot containers. We give it to the police, gave it to the police last year, and they are benefiting, they're using it well. We are also training them in terms of capacity building, sending them to Turkey, sending them to other countries. And also, we have some of our partners come to the country here to train them. We just concluded a security training program for over 100 people in the course of 2 weeks in counter-terrorism, VIP handling, and things of that sort. And for the media also, we are helping.
Ibrahima dafa melni ñun légui tay ñu dem talki de.
This
ñun dafa melni légui tay ñu dem talki de.
thing, it's not a joke, huh?
No, it is not. It is not. In fact, for the media, we did send some media personnel to Turkey for training in the past, and there are plans to do a similar one in the future. And when we do, definitely you hear from us. And I also want to use this opportunity to also state that the Secretariat is also collaborating with a lot of Tibet advocacy institutions like the GIZ, and we are also working with CESRIC. CESRIC is part of the OIC infrastructure to improve the technical and vocational skills and competence of young people, because we want, the way that we look at the summit is that it's a legacy project for this country. We want people to benefit from it long after the summit. So that is why we are partnering with GIZ to train young people in skills acquisition, and also train people that will be affected by our roadworks. Because when the roadworks start, people that are doing vending on the streets, the street hawkers will be displaced. So we don't want to just disrupt their livelihoods and leave them like that. So we have training packages earmarked for them to improve their business development skills and help them improve their transition.
I'm afraid time is up, Mr. Fadera. A lot to talk about when it comes to the OIC conference, but I'm hoping that we will have another engagement with you. Looking forward to a great one, and wishing you good luck. I think you deserve a lot of good luck, considering the fact that, time is not on your side and you need to finish all of these things. But like you mentioned, I'm happy that quality is part of the things that you're stressing to the constructors, which is important.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thanks for having me, and I'm glad to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us. Ibrahima, I'm afraid that is all we have time for.
Exactly. See you on Monday.
Man, dama buga this morning, I'm Friday. Then you want to protest. Protest. Thank you so much. One Stop Water Solution is part of our partners for all your water filters, for all your tanks and dispensers. Please visit One Stop Water Solution right there at Sukuta Highway. And to all of you following us on social media, thank you. Wa Manchester, wa Germany.
Exactly.
We see your messages. And that lady from Philippines, thank you so much for always commenting on our program. So thank you so much for joining us, and bye for now.
yelloo na ndox mu set te ndox mu set dafa bokk ci dunni doomu aadama te biir kat amul seetu waral na lépp lu fay dugg dafa war a doon li nga xamante ne ni lu indil doomu aadama bi loraange ci wàllu wér-gu-yaram One Stop Water Solution Limited ñu ngi fii ci biir réew taxaw temm fexe pour gis ne doomu aadama bu ne di nga naan ndox moo xamante ne ni ndox mu sell te wóor la ndax indil nañ leen ay xeetu filtres yi nga xamante ne ni mun ngeen koy jëfandikoo ci seeni pompe yi ci biir réew moo xam booxol ngay jëfandikoo wala pompe nawet yi ne bépp xeetu filtre bi nga xamante ne ni dina la indil wér gu yaram musal la ci loraange amal nañ leen ko ci biir réew am nañ 10-inch filter set of 3 bii nag ñett lay àndal bu ci ne ak li muy liggéey bokk na ci 5 micron pp sediment filter bii nag mooy segg ndox mi ba mu set génne fa lépp li nga xamante ne ni warta ànd ak ndox moomu bala nga koy jëfandikoo gak granule carbon filter bii nag mooy segg génne lépp lu xeetoog chemical ak organique yi nga xamante ne ñoom ñoo nekk ci biir ndox mi sellal ndox mi ba waral mu soppi li nga xamante ne moom la ndox mi di saf mu soppi cafin gi def ko ndox mu sell te óor CTO block carbon filter bii nag du yem rek ci segg ndox mi sellal ko ba mu sell waaye nag daf koy yokk ay ngéneel yi nga xamante ne ni day baax ci wér gu yaramu doomu aadama bi dëgëral waaye tamit yàggal lool sa yuur wi am nañ tamit 12-inch filter set of 3 boobu it liggéey bu nu mel lay def ñetti filter yépp benn bu ne ak lu muy liggéey am nañ 10-inch post carbon 10-inch coconut carbon 75 GPD pure one membrane bi
amal nañ leen bépp xeetu water tank tàmbalee ko ci 500 litres 5000